It's perfect.
I need some new teeth. I want
Oh,
some new teeth.
is that?
Yeah, you are live.
Awesome.
We are live.
You know, this is not fair because where this phone is,
Mhm.
it's just like I have a double chin, and I hate that. How do I?
Cause you'll
I'm just
always,
gonna cut myself. I'm just
I
gonna
always
go
have my
like
head
this.
up like
I'm gonna
this,
lean
though.
over like this so nobody can see my teeth. You're not gonna see my mouth.
You know what? I catch myself. I catch myself doing this in the car, and it's like, oh, and then 5 minutes later, it's like my head's way up.
Rotate your phone. Yeah, I know that.
Rotate
Yeah.
your-
So yeah, we're like okay. So I
rotate
guess
your
I should
life.
do this. Wait, hang on. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just gonna hide on the Facebook feed. I'm gonna talk like this so you can't see my chin.
I forgot how to share this crap. Oh, there we go. Sure.
Wait, are you doing Facebook? I thought you were gonna do.
No, this is YouTube.
Oh, is that YouTube?
This is YouTube.
Yay! Okay, so we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. I'm working on Spreaker. Let me see. Let me go live.
Let's see.
Right after I belch.
Just now.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so we are live on everything.
We are on every.
We're everywhere.
fucking
We're
thing
just gonna
that-
find every media outlet there is to. I don't know. I don't know why.
I don't know.
We just are.
I'll go Cindy. Go Tom.
Okay.
Sandra.
What does this thing do? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to see if I can find my page so I can post this.
Yeah. We're just gonna.
We're gonna move that. Okay, we're moving it. Kelly's just gonna have to lean over this way. There you go.
Kelly is
Alrighty.
doing
So
stuff, and
let
that's
us-
just great.
yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
happy
that's-
Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
We appreciate you. We love you.
All right.
We're gonna do a special on since it's Veterans Day. We're gonna do a special on haunted battlefields.
Yes, haunted battlefields.
Of course, that is if my computer can handle having Facebook, Spreaker, and Skype open at the same time. Because, yeah.
Ooh, and I'm wearing my Hardwired, my Metallica shirt. And I'm going to go see Five Finger Death Punch and Breaking Benjamin.
I grab her boobs, but she's my sister, so
Yeah,
I can't.
that's a
I
little
only
weird.
grab other women's boobs that I'm not related to.
Just because we're in Arkansas, people.
What? Huh?
What?
It is 7. Wait.
No.
Hey, Cindy, what are you talking about?
Anywho, so we are going to talk about haunted battlefields, and we would love for you guys to either tell us of an experience you have on a battlefield, or have you visited a haunted battlefield? Are you a haunted battlefield? Do you frolic naked in a battlefield? We don't give a fuck. Just give us a call, or if you want to comment on this and call me a fool or a drunk fool, courage.
We'll make sure that we drink enough that you'll be speaking the absolute truth.
Yeah, or you can drink. We'll drink so much that we'll both understand each other, even
Or we'll
if
drink
nobody else
for
does.
you as a service, our service to you for Veterans Day and everybody else. We're going to drink beer for you.
Yeah, lots of
In the
beer.
event you're driving or you just have had enough, today. And
If you are a recovering alcoholic, you quitter, we'll do
take
it
care
for
of
you
it for
too.
you. We have full service. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go on with that.
We
Okay.
are just so. Kate, the most haunted battlefield in America. America. We love America. See, I'm wearing red, white, no blue. It's blue. Together we make a flag.
I'm wearing the Mad
We're a
Hat. I
flag.
don't know why. but,
Yeah.
why not?
But so the most haunted battlefield would have to be.
Gettysburg.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gettysburg.
Well, in America, because there are actual battlefields like in Belgium that,
Mm-hmm.
are insanely
Ooh.
haunted.
I was on YouTube too, and England.
You too?
England, YouTube too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And there's just so many of them. Okay, the next one I would say would be Beaches of Normandy, because so
Oh,
many soldiers died that day. It was
Yep.
so sad. But that would have to be I mean, if you think about, you're just like, oh, we're going into battle, do, and then boom, you're just like gone like that. I mean, you get shot in the head, you're gone. You don't even know it. And that's the best way to go, I think. But, so I mean, it's like, can you imagine all the pissed off souls hanging around after that going, what the fuck just happened?
Well,
I'd be
yeah.
pissed too. I'd be haunting some motherfuckers. But I would have to imagine I'd be one of the most haunted.
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't doubt it. This is never going to load up.
That's what she said.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking maybe
He said it.
else.
It's a bi thing either way, you know.
Come on. I can't post anything because my computer's just so slow. I hate this. This internet sucks ass. Okay. So
Well, she's...
I'm still working. I'm working on posting links.
Okay, I'm gonna look at stuff.
Oh, Cindy and hello. I was at Yorktown, Virginia's surrender field and felt the energy there. Well, woman,
I'm sure
if I can ever get this crap working, you should call in and tell us about that.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
Nope,
seriously. Okay, wait. Will it?
Will it? It's the $1 million question. You know what I thought? I have ADHD really bad, so my brain goes through so many different thoughts in a day.
In a minute.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
So, dude, where? So, I was sitting there, right?
Where?
Oh, yeah.
There.
I was sitting, like, on my little back stairs to my garage and smoking a cigarette and, like, do. So, Anubis is sitting there, and all of a sudden, he starts hiccuping. And it's so cute. I love it when dogs hiccup. They're just so fucking hilarious and so cute. So what went through my brain was, it'd be really cool, and I don't know why, but a ghost dog hiccuping. Or bark.
Okay.
It could happen.
It very well could. And it probably has, actually.
Oh, that's just so cute. I love my Nubis. That's not ghostly, though.
Okay, it's trying to load the Spreaker link. I don't know why it's showing that. I am just completely... all right, I don't know. Yeah, what?
My
Mm-hmm.
Halloween party was awesome.
Yes, it was.
It was awesome.
It absolutely was.
Dude, I did my own makeup, as you know.
Well, yeah.
But,
that was awesome.
My God, put them glasses on. And I'm sure you've, like, probably seen them on, like, Facebook. But we have demon eyes behind my glasses with, like...
Just exactly like that, actually.
Very much like that.
Hey, look. We look like I'm falling down a hill.
You are. Couple more beers.
Wait,
we just might both be falling down.
No, why won't this let me share it? It's my video and I can't share it? The frick?
You know, like Sinister? Shh. You're dead. Pulled into a projector.
Honestly, I don't know. Okay, well, I guess we should just... Oh, here we go. Share.
Share.
Let's share.
Don't share STDs, but share the video.
I don't have any STDs.
Nah, it's telling whoever's in this general area here. It's never okay to share an STD.
No, it really isn't.
Unless you really hate them.
But then you have to do them. No. Okay. Okay, I don't know if that worked or not, but I don't care because we're just going to move forward here.
Onward.
Tired with this crap.
To Narnia.
To Narnia.
We're going to Narnia.
And beyond.
Yes, where all the socks are, like, that's where they are.
Where, huh? The socks are in
All
Narnia?
the socks are in Narnia. They come out of your dryer, not a fucking cabinet.
Okay, I don't even know why that did that. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get my Skype number. Okay. Let me get the Skype number because I don't have it memorized, even though I should. Except I know it's 870. There it is.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
505-4739. In case anybody wants to call in, tell us a story about a haunted battlefield.
Or Narnia.
Or Narnia.
I'll catch that goat bastard.
Yeah. His name was Thomas, too.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah. He was cute. I thought, he was...
No, I didn't watch that.
He was
I read the book.
What do they call him? It starts with an S. It's like Pan. Satyr. I knew, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of those. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
To talk about Gettysburg. I'm going to drink.
I'm going to actually read some of this.
I'm still going to drink.
And she's going to drink. And, oh, God, that's a lot of reading. Holy moly. All right. I need to drink a little before I...
Well, just pick out the...
But you got to give the background.
No, you don't. People know about Gettysburg. Do y'all know about Gettysburg? Because if you don't...
Some people do, and some people don't. They don't teach anything in school anymore.
Pick up a damn history book.
The guns of Gettysburg. All right. By early summer of 1863, the war in the East was going well for the Confederacy. Lee, confident after his victories at Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville, urged President Davis to once again take the war to the North. By doing so, this would take the fighting out of Virginia and relieve the pressure being felt by the government in Richmond. It would also ease the load on the Confederate supply lines because if the invasion could be pushed far enough to the north, it would allow the soldiers to live off the land. In addition, Lee's invasion would also draw attention away from Grant's siege of Vicksburg. Plus, if any northern towns could be captured by the Confederates, it just might push the war-weary citizens of the North to the discussion of a settlement between the two nations. Just so you know, my darling sister brought me chocolate-covered coffee beans. And I almost ate this whole bag.
If you're watching, babe, I need more.
These are the bomb. They look like goat poop, but they taste fantastic. All right.
That's reindeer
Moving
poop.
on. It seemed as though the outlook for a northern invasion was completely positive, and if a downside existed, Lee couldn't find it. So moving in secret, Lee began his northern thrust on June 3rd, 1863. He marched his troops into the Shenandoah Valley and pushed them on, using the mountains as a shield. After the death of Stonewall Jackson, I haven't even had anything to drink yet. I can't talk. I'm trying to talk too fast. A short time before, the Army of Northern Virginia had been reorganized into 3 corps, each commanded by A.P. Hill, Richard S. Ewell, and James Longstreet.
Wave him.
Hi, Amanda. Hey, George. Who else is on there? Can I order a beer? You sure can.
Yeah, it'll be sent right away, dude.
Yeah.
Not my beer, George.
You know what? Here's the deal, George. We'll drink a beer for you.
Yeah.
Probably Kelly will, because I can't drink and...
I'll drink 2 for you.
I can't drink and read.
I'll drink 2 for you.
She'll have 2 for you. Okay, so... The cavalry was commanded by the magnificent Jeb Stuart. Actually, it's J.B. Stuart. Okay. Although unaware of Lee's plans, the Army of the Potomac, under the command of Joseph Hooker, realized that a major enemy troop movement was underway.
There's a hooker in the Civil War.
There's hookers everywhere. Following a cavalry engagement at Brandy Station on June 9th. Don't spit that beer out. Don't let it come out your nose, girl.
Aw.
Hooker then cautiously followed Lee's march to the north, keeping his army east of the mountains and between Washington and the Confederates. On June 15th, Lee overwhelmed a Union force at Winchester and then continued northward. By June 28th, 2 days after my birthday, all of the Confederate troops had crossed over into Union territory. They were still widely scattered out, but all were converging on the Pennsylvania capital of Harrisburg. Meanwhile, tensions between Washington and General Hooker was increasing. Yeah, okay. Once again, Lincoln was disappointed by the inaction of one of his generals, and on June 28th, he appointed George Meade to replace Hooker as the head of the Army of the Potomac. Because apparently that Hooker was no good.
Only one Hooker.
Coincidentally, on this day, General Lee received a message that the Union Army was on the move, heading toward his new location. This came as a shock to Lee, as he had been depending on Stuart to keep him aware of all enemy activity. Although no one knew it at the time, Stuart had seemingly vanished. He was involved in a daring raid east of the Federal Army, and all communications with the main Confederate force had been cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Lee's information came from a shadowy figure who had been remembered throughout history only as the spy Harrison, a man who worked for Longstreet but who disappeared after the battle. He informed Lee that Meade was now in charge of the Union Army and was marching north to meet the Confederates. With the news that the Federal Army was aware of his plans, Lee sent out an order to concentrate the Confederate forces at Cashtown, a small village between Chambersburg and Gettysburg.
Hey, sorry.
Here, Lee would prepare to confront the Federal advance troops. The Confederate Army was now in place to the north and west of Gettysburg, while Meade pushed the Federal Army from the south, moving northward from the area around Frederick and Emmitsburg, Maryland. Both armies were in the dark as to the whereabouts of the other on June 30th. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, George said I got replaced by a hooker.
We're just not even going to address that right now. The day that cavalry units under command of General John Buford rode into Gettysburg. Before this time, there was nothing to set Gettysburg apart from hundreds of other small communities in America. The population of the town was of about 2,400 people, and aside from a thriving carriage industry, its only claim to fame were its two colleges, the Lutheran Theological Seminary and Pennsylvania College, which is now known as Gettysburg College. It was, or might have been known as Gettysburg College then, I don't know, it's in parentheses. Anyway, it was nothing more than a sleepy little Pennsylvania town in 1863, but all of that was about to change. Buford's cavalry rode into town on June 30th and established a picket line on the other side of the Lutheran Seminary to guard approaches to the town from the west. By coincidence, a brigade of Confederate infantry under General John Pettigrew of A.P. Hill's Corps had been sent to Gettysburg from Cashtown to scout out the area that same day. Legend has it that the Confederates were actually looking for shoes, but they were actually on a reconnaissance mission. For whatever reason, the two groups bumped into each other. It seems likely, with two large armies in such close proximity of each other, they were bound to run into each other at some point. However, once the Confederates spotted the Union pickets, they rode to the west to report the enemy's presence.
Is that dead animals or is that dead people?
That is horses and people.
Oh.
That's cavalry. That's what happened back then. You know, everybody's so up in arms if, you know, a spotted toad gets squished by, you know, a lumberjack or something. Now,
messy.
Yeah, well, back then, when you had cavalry, you shot the horses out from under them, and that's how you slowed them down, and then you could get to them.
Really?
So,
fuckers.
Yeah.
Good.
And you killed everybody's animals that you couldn't take, you know, for food because that would starve them out.
I think in lieu of just Veterans Day, we should take a moment for the poor horses that were forced into going in there and getting shot.
That was their jobs.
I don't care if
they were soldiers too.
It's yeah. So
okay,
in your head for horses.
Yep. So the fighting lasted for 3 days across the hills and through the forests and even in the streets of Gettysburg itself. By the end of the third day, the Battle of Gettysburg was over. It would be remembered as the bloodiest day of the war, as almost 1/3 of the men engaged in it were lost. The next day, July 4th, both armies remained on the battlefield, with Meade and Lee each waiting for each other to move. When nothing of significance occurred that day, Lee realized that his invasion of the North had come to an end. He was now far from his supply line and was running low on ammunition, not to mention the fact that the Confederacy could not afford the over 28,000 casualties they had sustained. It was time to return home. That afternoon, Lee began his long retreat back to Virginia while Meade, despite urgings from Washington, declined to attack the retreating force. Behind them, the streets and fields of Gettysburg were littered with the bodies of the dead, slowly decaying in the heat of the Pennsylvania summer. The people of the town were also left with thousands of the wounded to attend to, and homes and businesses were quickly turned into field hospitals. Wounded men were brought into our houses and laid side by side in our halls and rooms, one local woman recalled. Carpets were so saturated with blood as to be unfit for further use. Walls were blood-stained, as well as books that were used as pillows. The dead also lined the streets and walkways, rotting in the summer sun. Corpses swollen to twice their original size, wrote a federal soldier, actually burst asunder. Several human or inhuman corpses sat upright against a fence with arms extended in the air and faces hideous with something very like a fixed leer. In terms of significance, Gettysburg will always be remembered as one of the greatest battles in American history. It was the turning point in the war and it was probably not a coincidence, in the greater scheme of things at least, that the day after the battle ended also marked the fall of Vicksburg to General Grant. The war had just taken a darker turn for the Confederacy. The battle would have a lingering effect on the country, not only for the armies of the Civil War, but for America itself. Sorry about that. Had a phone call. Oh, let's see.
Call back later.
I will call back later. Where was I? Okay. The battle would have a lingering effect on the country, not only for the armies of the Civil War, but for America itself, an effect that still lingers today. It goes without saying that the Battle of Gettysburg left a tremendous mark on the small town and on the fields where the fighting actually took place. Few are surprised to learn that many of the buildings in Gettysburg and many locations on the battlefield are now believed to be haunted. In places where so much death and destruction took place, the stories of ghosts and spirits often follow, and in Gettysburg, such spirits make themselves known more strongly than just about anywhere else. And let me fix this so you can see Kelly again, because I accidentally smacked
you
it.
didn't see his part. So, how many people died, like, in Gettysburg? About?
Well, the Confederacy had 28,000 casualties, and the Union had just under that. It was a huge amount. A huge amount. And that was deaths, and it was also people who were wounded who died later, because many times, in fact, actually, just as many people, died from surgeries and infections after being wounded.
Was that before or after penicillin? Before, wasn't it?
That was before, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
penicillin was early.
Sometimes when people just got like a craze and shit, they died because staph infection and gangrene.
Green gang?
Green gang. We ganged a green one. Now we're gonna die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
I think you need another beer.
I'm not even halfway done with this one. I've been reading.
You gotta stop talking and drink.
But our show is about
drinking.
No, well, not just drinking. It's not just drinking.
It's drinking.
Okay. Gettysburg haunts. There's an interesting thing about visiting the Gettysburg battlefield. You can go into just about any business in town and ask where to find the battlefield, and they will tell you that you are standing on it. Of course, the official battlefield, which lies just out of town, is operated today by the National Park Service, but during the fighting of July 1863, virtually the entire village was a battleground. Skirmishes took place throughout the town, and when the Federals retreated on the first day of the battle, they poured into Gettysburg, fleeing to the relative safety of Cemetery Hill. Many were killed there, and their bodies left to await burial on the streets of the town. The fact that these bodies were left here in the July heat has given rise to one of the many ghostly tales of Gettysburg. As mentioned in the first chapter of the book that this is from,
That's the book.
Well, there. This isn't a book, but this touts a book that I didn't go into. I'm sorry. Anyway. Okay. The author stated, I had my own experience with one of the phantom smells of Baltimore Street, the lingering odor of peppermint. It's better than the smell of rotting
Rotting
flesh.
body landslide.
Peppermint and rotting flesh doesn't sound very good either. Okay, according to the tales, the ladies of the town were only able to walk the streets after the battle with scented handkerchiefs pressed to their faces to combat the horrible smell of death. The story said that these odors of peppermint and vanilla are still present today. And I totally believe that. I can you even imagine? I mean, I had a mouse die back here in the den. I mean, it was this big, a teeny mouse, and that thing stunk up the whole house. It was dead for like one day, and I realized it was dead because it was like it had burrowed into the shavings in the thing. Could you imagine thousands of human bodies and horse bodies and
Well,
no.
Oh, you want to hear a
Nasty.
funny story? When I was living with Bruce, like
Yeah,
after
sure.
after Barbie left, I was living with Bruce, and I go to the fucking computer, dude, and something smelled. Something smelled. Everyone's like, "I don't smell nothing. I didn't smell anything." I'm like, I fucking smelled something dead. Okay. Went on for a week. I kept saying something fucking smells dead, right? Finally, one day, I'm cleaning the house and whatever, and I pulled out the desk because I thought I'll clean behind the desk. Sure enough, there's a fucking mouse skeleton with the hair around it. And I turned and I said, I told you I fucking smelled something dead. Bam! Told me I don't smell nothing. That has nothing to do with Vietnam or any of those. Sorry. But
Gettysburg. We're talking about Gettysburg, not Vietnam.
Yeah. We really should talk about Vietnam, though. I think Vietnam didn't get enough recognition.
That's true.
And then when our soldiers came home and got spit on and yelled at and called baby killers and all that bullshit.
That is true also.
So I'm thinking their battlefields, because of that, there is a lot of death over there too. I'm thinking there's got to be places over there that is just like creepy as fuck.
Absolutely. So I'll just give you a few different things about, some battlefield hauntings on here. And then I'm going to pop on this and I will find some haunted Vietnam battlefield stuff. Yeah. And you can read that while I drink first.
Yeah, there you go. You need to catch up. I think I'm on my 5th one already.
I haven't even finished one. I'm not feel that. That's not even halfway done. That's my first one.
Almighty. Yeah.
Well, I'm doing the work here, girl.
Well, you don't have to read because it's bullshit. That's all we ever do.
No, because
somebody
show is about
somebody needs to call in so my sister can drink. Y'all just selfish. Call in. Some of us want to drink.
Okay.
Still love you.
All right, you continue babbling. I'm going to find something here about... I instead of reading all this, I'll
just things. For now, I want to say...
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
I want to say thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Patrick. Dad. My second cousin, Megan. Megan Burdick. And anyone else I know that has served or is serving or is thinking about serving. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I could be serious too, but I'm not serious anymore. It's just
okay.
There goes my brain. Oh, look, something shiny. It's a squirrel. It's a shiny squirrel.
A shiny squirrel.
Interesting. See, look at that.
You have shiny
stuff
eyes.
on my eyes.
Me too. Look, I'm gold.
I want to get that lipstick you have, but anywho, back on the subject.
But my
My
I've got a
butt.
dark purple one that's too dark for me. You can have it. Yeah, you'll love it.
Ooh.
And it's the one that when you go like that, all the glitter
Oh,
shows.
fuck, dude. Yeah, I want that.
It's pretty cool. Okay, the George Weichert house. We're back to this for a second. Is one such odd location on the Gettysburg battlefield. The small house has had a surprising number of different occupants over the years, many of whom have had stories to tell. One of the previous residents of the house spoke of a door on the second floor which refused to stay closed no matter what they did to it. One ranger even nailed the door shut with a small wire nail, and yet it refused to stay closed. Possibly connected to this, other tenants reported the sounds of footsteps pacing back and forth in the attic. They would hear the heavy tread cross the area above their heads and then cross back as if someone up there were worried or deep in thought. Needless to say, when they would go up to the attic to check for an intruder, they would find the area to be deserted. Another residence is the Hummelbaugh House, where the stories say that the cries of Confederate Brigadier General William Barksdale can still be heard on certain nights. Barksdale was wounded while leading a charge on Seminary Ridge and was brought to the Hummelbaugh House. According to an officer from the 148th Pennsylvania Volunteers, Barksdale was last seen lying in front of the house, and a young boy was giving him water with a spoon. The general continued to call for water as though the boy did not exist, calling over and over again. In the years since, the legends say that the sound of Barksdale's voice can still be heard. And that's not the only story connected to the house, or to Brigadier General Barksdale either. The other story is connected to the days after the battle when Barksdale's wife journeyed to Gettysburg to have her husband's remains exhumed and returned to their home in Mississippi. She was accompanied on her trip by the general's favorite hunting dog. As the old dog was led to his master's grave, he fell down onto the grave and began to howl. No matter what Mrs. Barksdale did, she was unable to pull the animal away. The hell? No side views. All through the night, the faithful dog watched over the grave. The next day, Mrs. Barksdale again tried to lure the dog away, but he refused to budge, even though the general's remains had already been loaded onto a wagon to begin the journey back to Mississippi.
You said no side views.
Finally, saddened by the dog's pitiful loyalty, she left for home. For those who lived nearby, the dog became a familiar fixture during the days that followed. He would occasionally let out a heartbreaking howl that could be heard for some distance. Many locals came and tried to lead the dog away, offering him food, water, and a good home. The dog refused all of their gestures and eventually died from hunger and thirst, still stretched out over his master's burial place. Within a few years, a tale began to circulate that the animal's spirit still lingered at the Hummelbaugh farm. It has been said that on the night of July 2nd, the anniversary of Barksdale's death, an unearthly howl echoes into the night, as the faithful hunting dog still grieves from a place beyond this world. Let's see, one more. Stop. The Rose Farm is another such location. During the battle, the house was used as a field hospital and burial ground. Hundreds of Confederate and Federal soldiers were buried in rows all around the house and property. They would later be exhumed in November 1863, although the claiming of the bodies and the reburials would continue on for years afterward. According to a local doctor named Dr. J.W.C. O'Neill, and reported by author Mark Nesbitt, one of the daughters on the Rose Farm actually went insane during the exhumations, having lived through both the battle and its aftermath. Allegedly, she was to have seen blood actually flowing from the walls of the house.
Nice.
Perhaps a grisly reminder from the days when the house served as a bloody field hospital. And was the house actually haunted, though? Or were the strange visions simply the workings of a fevered mind? And on it goes. Okay, so speaking of field hospitals and such, last night when I was there with Dark Night Paranormal Society at the Clayton House in Fort Smith, that house was built in the 1850s, so it was pre-Civil War. And during the Civil War, it one section of it
Mm-hmm.
was a field hospital. It was a Union field hospital.
Okay.
So when we were doing our investigation, I had my ghost radio on. They were using an Ovulus and another app that right off the top of my head, I'm not sure. It might have been Spiritus. It might have been Ghost Radar. I don't know. But on different apps in the same area, on different phones, and on the Ovulus, it brought up the word shooting, things like that, like constantly. Mine brought up troops.
Uh-huh.
And it was interesting because there was a lot of stuff brought up that actually pertained to the Civil War, basically.
Yeah.
And it being a hospital.
There wasn't much activity, though, was there, in
Fort
what? Smith Van Buren?
Yeah, there was.
Was there?
Actually. Well, Van Buren was the headquarters for the Confederacy.
Mm-hmm.
For everything west of the Mississippi. And there was the Battle of Van Buren, which...
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta read up on that shit.
Yeah, you should. Come on, girl. You went with me on the Van Buren tour.
I don't know, man. I was in the way back trying to wrangle these people in.
Talking about it. Okay, so yeah. So there was a battle. It was a running battle. It started at Dripping Springs. And the
bloody strings.
Yeah,
Springs.
Which is in the Uniontown area. Excuse me. And so the Union basically chased the Confederates down towards Van Buren, down to where Logtown Hill was. But being a running battle, I mean, it was just, they were shooting. People were dying all the way from all the way there.
I'm running away now. Now I'm dead. Now
exactly. So then the Confederates made it, a lot of the Confederates made it to the river, and they had ferries there that had supplies and whatnot on. So some of them made it across. They burned a couple of the boats so the Union soldiers wouldn't get their supplies.
It's like a really good video game. Quick, get them so you ship their supplies and they're down.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Keep drinking. So, so Union soldiers put their artillery up on top of Logtown Hill, shot down over the river. At the Confederates. The Confederates were shooting back across the river from Fort Smith at the Union in Van Buren. They totally took out the whole town for the most part because it was wood back then. Everything that's there now is all built in the late 1800s.
And from what I understand, they're muskets and... Oh, wait, is that...
No, muskets.
That's not...
No.
That was... Oh, the British are coming.
Yeah, that's Revolutionary War.
Okay.
Different war.
Okay.
But...
I'm up to speed.
So, a lot of the graves that are in the Fairview Cemetery... There's something like 400 Confederate graves there. And then there's, I believe, 12 Union graves, but they were of black Union soldiers. However, the Union wouldn't allow them to be buried with the other Union soldiers, so they got buried with the Confederates in Fairview.
Help them be repressed.
So, some of that was from Prairie Grove and Pea Ridge. Not very many of the people there. Most of them were from around here. But yeah, so there actually was quite a bit of stuff going on in this area.
Hotbed of death.
Okay, so sister here's going to ramble, and I'm going to look up some stuff for her.
I'm going to ramble because, okay, so my thing is, okay, we've got, you could go way back to, like, ancient times, but if you think about it, there is World War II. What? Yeah, World War I, World War II, Korean War.
That That's like ours though.
Yeah, but see, there's so many freaking
There were
wars.
wars
Vietnam,
way
there's,
before that.
yeah, Civil War, Revolutionary War, like, and then you have to kind of go all the way up to like Desert Storm and all that stuff. So it's like, see, what I always thought was like the older the story or the older the house, the better chances of getting a ghost. But like you have to think there are ghost stories of Desert Storm, Vietnam, and all that
Well,
stuff.
anywhere where you have death, you have potential for
Yeah, but see, I never
afterlife.
thought about that. I always thought, oh God, 1812, there's a ghost. But if I died tomorrow, I'd probably still be on this show because I just sit here going, nah, nah, nah. I was probably going, oh my God, there's like no food in the house.
Okay, let's see.
Unless
You
the
know,
house is on fire,
honestly.
but he knows to get the dogs out,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyhow, get my glasses on. I can't see a
Okay.
damn
I'm
thing
not
without
finding
these.
really anything about paranormal hauntings.
What have I missed? Amy, you've missed a lot. And you should be on my YouTube channel.
You calling a wanker?
You, George, you a wanker.
Well, I don't tell you, girl, because this isn't showing much of anything.
Go to.
As far
Oh,
wait,
you know the one place?
Mm-mm.
The place in Montana, the one that
Wait.
I've been wanting to go to? Just north of Billings. Ghost
Where?
dead soldiers. Vietnam.
It may take my computer a half hour to pull it up because, that's how
Paula Grace.
my internet rolls. Oh, it's a YouTube. No, I don't want a YouTube.
No, George, the Kiss Army don't count. Sorry. And I did call you a wanker.
Except Gene Simmons does kind of look like he's already dead. But.
Yeah, really. You should see fucking Joe Perry.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with Kiss, but yeah.
He looked Fu Manchu, but fuck, he was on Facebook or they posted something on Facebook.
Old.
He's in the hospital. And they showed a picture of him. He's all Fu Manchu and shit. No. No, God, Lord have mercy.
Manchu.
Fu Manchu.
Yeah, I know what a Fu Manchu is.
Oh my God, the guy looked like he should have been dead already. I mean, no offense, I love Aerosmith, but oh my God.
You're killing me. Okay, let's see.
Ooh, I want that.
I know. It'd be a great tattoo. Okay, let's see.
What's your channel name?
Wait,
Amy, go to Psycho Picasso, and you should be able to go directly to this link. Subscribe to. Because I love you.
Okay. This says from that to that, but it ain't there. This is all still stuff talking about Gettysburg. I don't know why, because it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
Oh, wait. Wow, that's it? Okay. Yeah. It says Vietnam War ghosts are thought to haunt the forests of Vietnam. According to Vietnamese culture, a spirit can connect with a tree once it passes on, and therefore the forests are often considered to be haunting grounds for lost souls. Which really doesn't have anything to do with... Well, okay, the Vietnamese also believe that a spirit will roam the countryside and steal from people if it's not given a proper burial. Some say that with the amount of wandering ghosts that appeared after the Vietnam War, there has been an urge to identify the unmarked graves and lay the dead to rest for good, which they should do anyway.
Anyway.
Okay, that's all that it has there. I can't find anything.
I think, wait, what time is it? What time is it?
It's 7:38.
Oh, holy shit, I have time for 3 more beers and a pee.
Wow! Okay. Oh, you know what we should talk about?
What's that?
Wait, I'm gonna find. Um, um.
Yes, Chris, if you bring the alcohol, we'll break out the shot glasses, dude.
Oh yeah, I gave her the shot glasses.
Thank you. I love it. Love, 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 love.
Very cool. Okay.
I'm waiting for Amy to subscribe.
Are ya?
Yeah. And then I'll have 3 subscribers. Yay! Break out them shot glasses.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what this brings up. Okay, that's weird.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he in a clown mask?
I wish I could tell ya, but I really don't know. Okay. Come on.
You know what? I've had fun. I'm going back on Facebook. It goes and it puts the lotion on skin or gets the hose again.
No idea what the hell
I don't know
I'm
how to get
talking
rid
about.
of this. I don't know how to stop this. How do you stop this? I don't know how
Well,
to
let's
stop
see.
it.
This.
Oh, there we go.